I said I would do um, a video about loving yourself, what that means. Because I don't think people tell us for real. I think people say it, it's cliche. You know, it sounds good to say, but what does that mean? Hi, I'm Ashley. I feel like I'm a YouTuber. Oh my goodness. Like, hey, my name's Ashley. Make sure you subscribe, like the channel, blah, blah, blah. But no, I'm just like in my bed, sharing messages, hoping that, that my experiences and what I go through can be a light to you, a light so you don't go that way and make the same mistakes I did, so you can make different mistakes and grow and be better. Okay. Um, but no, this channel is all about like being authentically, just being authentically me, and hoping that what I experience can help someone, you know, be better, be better, and remind you of how powerful you are. Like that's truly that's my purpose in life, period. Like just to love people, love myself, love people, and help them help them to become the person that they're meant to be. Help them to reach their full potential. Okay. But no, how loving yourself, what does that mean? How do you do it? Mind you, I don't have no notes or nothing. We're just chit chatting right now. Um, this is all my opinion, by the way. So don't, you know, it's my opinion. When people say love yourself, it's very loaded. They say, oh, love yourself because, girl, loving yourself means choosing you, doing what you want to do, trusting you, living your life for you. That's what loving yourself means. That's what it is. Loving yourself is choosing you, doing what's best for you, respecting you. Everything, putting you in high regard is what loving yourself means. And that's what people mean when they say you can't love anybody else if you don't love yourself. Because if you don't have the traits within you, you can't give those traits to somebody else. You can't. Not in a sustainable way, at least. Because, I've had experiences too where, most of my life, up until now, like, I didn't love myself. Like, I was, I lived in my body, I had my experiences, I had regard for myself. Like, I knew that, I'm me and I want what's best for me, but I didn't love me. And even still, I was still, you know, believing that I'm loving other people. And I was, but it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't healthy. I was in unhealthy, toxic situations. I was not loving myself. For example, right? As women, right, when we don't love ourselves, we attract men who don't love themselves either. And so we're dating these men and almost trying to love them to teach them how to like love us, right? We want someone else to love us so bad. Like, you gotta love me so bad. I'm gonna love you so you can love me. When the reality is that's not gonna work because you don't even love you. You don't even know how to love you. So you're doing these things, behaving this way in attempts to teach this man how to love you. When the things that you're doing may not equate to love for real and loving you. That may not be what you need to love you. Really, it's enabling. Really, the man curse you out. This never those extremes never happened to me, by the way. But it's just for example. It's an extreme example. A man is cursing you out, right? And you as a woman decide I'm gonna love him and I'm gonna stay and I'm going to yeah, he cursed me out, but I'm still gonna like make him dinner. I'm still gonna like have sex with him. I'm still gonna sleep with him. I'm still gonna do all these things for him to show him I love him. I'm still going to subject myself. I'm gonna tear down myself to show that I love him. That's love. That's not love, girl. That's not love. That's not love at all. In fact, it's dumb, but there's no judging here. That's dumb. That's not love. Do you hear how that sounds? That's demeaning. That's belittling. That's sacrificing. That's what is it called? That's shameful. That's putting yourself to shame. That's you lowering your self-respect. That's what that is. That's not love. Consistently choosing to show up for somebody in ways that they don't deserve is not love. Because love says, that man cursed you out. I love me and you enough to remove myself. First of all, I love me first, because who are you talking to? You would not talk to me that way. I'm going to remove myself. But loving him comes into that when you show that that's not okay to do because you love them. That's bad behavior. So you're not going to enable and enforce bad behavior. You removing yourself, you having self-respect and choosing you, loving you teaches it helps the whole world, because you're teaching them, you're giving them, you're teaching them and training them to be better people, better men, right? And I think that's the problem with women. That's why men are so shitty. They're walking around here just acting dumb because we have it backwards. Because I'm so sorry, that's not me. Women are trying to get someone else outside of themselves to love them, to prove to themselves that they love them. But here's the thing. Even if you did meet somebody who loves you, because I believe there are moments when someone actually does love you more than you love you. You won't even want them because how they behave, you don't know what love is, girl. So when he love you, you're going to be like, oh, he's a loser. Oh, he's lame. Oh, you won't relate to it because you don't know what it is. You don't know what's in front of you. But if you love yourself, you start loving yourself, you're going to be attracted to other people that love you. And you're going to notice it. You're going to recognize it. And you're going to be able to give it back. Because if you got somebody in your life right now that loves you more, if you got somebody in your life now that loves you and they don't love themselves, I'm not going to say their love is pointless, but you're an abuser. Because because they should love themselves as much as they love you. Y'all should be it should be equal, pouring into each other mutually. I forgot where I was going with that. But the point is, I think I kind of got it. If someone's loving you more than they love themselves, that's a very abusive situation. And if you love them, and if you love yourself, right, and respect yourself, if you love yourself and you wouldn't align yourself with a relationship that's not fulfilling for real, right? Because if you don't love them back and they just are giving and pouring and subjecting themselves, burning themselves to love you, one, they don't love you because they don't love themselves, so they're just being manipulated. But you should love yourself enough to have a mutual connection where you're happy and you want to be with that person, and you deserve that, right? Don't waste people's time. But it's not here or there. So, love. How do we get to loving ourselves? How do we get there, right? I have been resonating with the analogy that we all are on different journeys of our life, right? And we find ourselves in different places sometimes. And we have ventured off into this journey, going into the woods, right? You decide, okay, this is how I get to where I want to go. This is how I get to love. So you go into the woods looking for love, right? But you get lost. You're lost. I'm getting there. How do you love yourself? The goal isn't to love yourself immediately overnight. I mean, I guess it's possible, right? With prayer, anything is possible, and belief. But realistically, for where, people are in modern day life, it won't happen overnight. It won't. So it requires little steps. And the first step being, make a decision. The first step is accountability. Be honest with yourself. Do a status update on your life. Like, what does your life look like? What do you want it to look like? How do you feel, right? What situations are you in that aren't for you, that make you unhappy, that make you feel negatively? Note that. And first accept that, you know what, I'm not behaving as someone who respects and loves themselves, and be honest. Then from there, you do little things. You do little things like talk to yourself. Literally, talk to yourself. That's why affirmations are amazing. I don't think people know why affirmations work with the subconscious and all that. Excuse me, but I don't think people are really getting it. Like the power of saying things out loud, because it's not just your mind that hears it, it's your body, your flesh. We need to talk to our body, right? Because our body, yes, we live in our mind and, whatever, but our bodies are the vessel experiencing this life, right? If you feel anxious, that's a feeling within your body that's separate from your mind, because your mind doesn't want to feel that. Well, your body does. So talk to yourself every morning. You know what? I love myself. I love me. What do I need to do today? What can I do today to prove to myself that I love myself? What little thing can I do? Right? Hug yourself. Like, damn it, I know it sounds crazy. It probably does. But it shouldn't, right? We hug everybody else. Hug yourself. Comfort yourself. Right? So first, talk to yourself. Now, first is accountability. Second is start talking to yourself. Start having dialogue with you, whether that be journaling. I love journaling. Journaling saved my life. And journaling came all from spirit. Like, I was inspired to write. It didn't come from no one told me on YouTube or whatever. It called my spirit. So I hope that can inspire you. Journal, write it down, get it on paper. Actually understand your thoughts and how you feel about yourself. And that's a way to do it. If you're journaling and writing it down, and no judgment, just write and don't stop, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, misspelled words, whatever, but just get it on paper and then reflect, read what you wrote so you can understand you, right? And then next level, I think is the next level I think would be to do things that you want to do. Like, trust yourself enough to do what you want to do. For example, there's little moments throughout the day. So many little moments make up a full day, right? And there's so many decisions that we're making constantly, all the time, right? And our inner self is telling us what we want to do, but sometimes we dismiss it, we ignore it. I'll give you an example. And this is where people-pleasing tendencies come in, because people-pleasing is pleasing somebody outside of yourself. It's subjecting your value, what you want, your self-respect, in hopes to, bring joy, love to somebody else, which is so backwards, but we're getting there, right? For example, the only example I can think of is the most recent example. Yesterday's my birthday, and I had took myself to get, dinner or whatever, and this guy wanted to see me, right? He wanted to go on a date, and I had already told him yes. I done already, that be my thing, my words. Like, when I say stuff, I be feeling like, I gotta do it. And, I try to stay to my word for the most part, But sometimes I just speak out of turn. But anywho, he asked me out on a date, and I said yes. But when the time came, and even when he asked me and I said yes, I didn't want to. I didn't listen to myself. I just said yes. I didn't even check in with me. I didn't even ask me how I felt. But my spirit, little feelings, was like, I don't want to go. But yeah, so then it got time to go on the date. And I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go. I ended up going though, but I only went. I didn't want to go. But that's what I'm saying, right? In those moments, we're tested all the time. Do, like, what do you want to do? Are you going to listen to what you want to do, or are you going to do something to please somebody else? I don't know. I could have come up with I could have came up with a better example. I actually have a better example. But the point was, I still showed myself love in that I made it work for me. I said, okay, it's not about him. If I go, it's not about him. It's about me wanting to show off this dress because my dress was so fire. So I want to go out because I want to be seen in my dress. I want to get all the use out of this, right? And, you know, I just want to have an experience. I want it to be fun. Like, let's see where the night goes, right? And that, even still, you know, it's a little people pleasing in there because I really didn't want to go, but I made it work for my benefit. I then wanted to go because I wanted, you know, I wanted something for myself. Like, I made myself feel good about the situation. There was another guy, he asked me on a date months ago, right? He wanted to see the Avatar movie. Y'all know the Avatar movie is really long. I love movies. I love the Avatar. When we talked, I did want to see it. But once the day came, I didn't want to go. And I think that was the first time where I made the decision to choose what I wanted to do. And it was hard. He had already bought tickets. We had already been talking that day. He's excited. He like, I want to see you, blah, blah, blah. Because, you know, he was trying to date me. And I knew that I didn't want to go. I didn't. And I knew that if I didn't go, this would put all of, you know, our little investment in time and speaking to each other at jeopardy. I don't know what's on my laptop, but I was willing for myself. It was hard, but I was willing to still say no. I said no. I said no. And you know what happened? Nothing. He was upset, yes. I think he blocked me later. But I didn't die. I didn't fall over. I wasn't, like, the fear, you know, from saying no, or the fear from choosing what you want to do is very great. It's very great. So it's a muscle. So keep doing that. Keep doing what you want to do. This is just me talking from the dome, y'all. I'm not even, I don't have no notes. I'm not prepared. So I'm just talking. So I'm hoping it all makes sense. But do what you want to do is another. And then also, you know, spend time with you. Be alone. I got this hotel. I'm at a staycation. I have a staycation for myself, okay? Just for me. No one else is here. No one is here. I went to dinner alone. I got a massage today. I went to brunch by myself. I feel good, and I'm alone. I'm chit-chatting with you. Spend time alone. Like, I'm having such a good time. It feels so good to be here in this moment. It does. So, yeah, loving yourself. I hope that helps. But little by little, no one's expecting you to be perfect, get it perfect and right overnight. It's a journey. But I promise, when you start loving yourself, that's when, like, real opportunities come. And only then, the good ones at least. Bye, boo.